Hey, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be doing the second challenge of the LeetCode 75. So that is going to be the greatest common divisor of strings, so let's dive into it. So it's fairly straightforward once you understand it, so I'll do my best to explain it and then we can talk about the solution and jump into the code. So first example is very straightforward. Just we have to find the greatest common divisor between these two, and that would just be ABC, right? Because ABC goes into ABC once, and then ABC times 2 will give you ABC, ABC, exactly the second string. Okay, the second example here is AB, AB, and then AB, AB, AB. So just the string 2 does not go into the string 1 because ABAB times ABAB will overflow, right? But is there a part of the string that'll go into both? Yes, that would be just AB, right? Because AB twice is ABAB, and then AB 3 times is going to be ABABAB. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's talk about the solution now. So there is a little bit of math involved just because of the nature of the problem. It is greatest common divisor, but it's fairly intuitive, so not to worry. Just a couple things to note is we can start by testing, or the most efficient thing to do is start by testing the shorter string, right? Because we don't really want to test the longer string, because for example, if we start with the longest string, there's no way that the longest string ABC ABC will go into ABC, right? So there's just no need to start there. That'll just give us out of bounds exception. So we'll just start with the shortest string, and then we could either start with A and then just test it twice, and then AB and test it for both, and then ABC and test it for both. But the more efficient thing to do even here is going to be testing the whole string. So we'll just start by testing the full string and then start taking away characters and then testing it that way. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So first thing we want to do is make sure or rearrange our strings so that the first string we're dealing with is going to be shorter. So we always know which one is the shortest string. So if length of string 1 is less than length of string 2, then just flip them, right? So we'll assign it to new variables, or rather we want to keep it the same in this case. So string 1 is S1 and then S2 is string 2. Now in the other case, actually we'll just keep it the same even if it's equal, no need to switch. And then in this case, we'll just do S1 is equal to string 2, and then S2 is equal to string 1. So all this is doing is just making sure we have the first string to be smaller. So that'll make it easier for us to, or make it more easier for us to make a efficient solution. So now we are just going to, let's loop through the shortest string. So as we mentioned, we're gonna start with the whole string, so we're going to do a decrementing loop. So for I in range, and then the range is going to be length of start with the length of the first string because it's the shorter one, and then it'll go all the way down to 0, and then we'll decrement it by 1. So this work, or rather it'll go down to 1 because its range is always -1 of the second of the higher limit. So yeah, for I in that range, what we're going to do is firstly we want to make sure that whatever number we're at is divisible, right, with both strings. For example, the length is 3, length is 6, right? So 3 goes into 6, yeah, and then 2 goes into 6, yes it does. Okay, but for example this one, the length is 4 and the length is 6, right? Does 4 go into 6? No, so there's no point testing that already, right? So then so that's like a quick way to not even take out that factor. So that's what we'll do. And the easiest way to test out if it is a factor is by the module operator, so it will just look like this. If so, the length of string 1 mod I equals 0, meaning if it's divisible, and the string 2 mod I equals 0. Yes, okay. So only in this case where we know now that the length itself is a factor, then we can actually create the string. So in this case, what we want to do is let's extract out the factor now. So visualizing it is going to be initially it's going to be 4, right, for this string, which will not work. And then the second factor is going to be 3, because 3, wait, sorry, it's not going to be 3 either, it's going to be 2, because 3 doesn't go into 4, right? But 2 goes into 4 and 2 goes into 6. So now we know that this is going to be 2, so what we want to do is take out the factor. So we'll just take it out of string 1 because that's what we're using. So the factor is going to be the string 1 from the beginning all the way to our upper bound, which is I, right? So this is our factor now, and then now let's compute the both strings. So let's call it test1 is equal to our factor multiplied by, now we need to know how much multiplied by. Well, that'll just be the length of string 1 integer division by I. So this just divides it and rounds it down. So there's going to be, for example, in this test condition, it'll be 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and then factor is going to be AB. So it'll be AB times 2 is AB. And then we just want to make sure that that is equal. And like if we built the second string or the first string correctly, and then we'll do the same thing for the second string. So we'll just multiply the factor by length of the second string divided by our index where we're at now in the string. So now we want to do another if test1. Now we just want to make sure that we built the strings correctly, right? So if test1 is equal to s1 and test2 is equal to s2, then we want to return the factor, which is the greatest common factor. And the reason we can just return it here is because we're going from the longest string to the shortest, and so as soon as we hit a factor that's able to divide both strings, then we know it's the correct answer. And then if we finish the loop without finding one, then we just return empty string, and then we'll just run that. Oops, there is an error here. Cannot access local variable s2. Oh, because this is supposed to be string 2. So let's run that. Another slight issue. Oh, we need brackets actually. That will do it. There we go, and we'll submit that. Nice, there we have it. Almost the best solution. Awesome. See you guys in the next one.